know that in this election, we cannot allow the climate crisis, the most existential threat to our futures and our generation, to be cast by the wayside again in this election. It is too serious for it to be only given 20 minutes in a debate. We are not going to let that happen again this year. 2020 is the last year that we have to elect a leader into the White House who will reverse the change, who will reverse this climate crisis, because scientists have told us that we only have 11 years left to save our futures and human civilization as we know it. And so when we're here today and when we go to watch the debates on the screen, it is scary because we are watching the people who are debating how they're going to save our futures. And that's why we are here together, because we need to be in solidarity with each other. We need to hold each other during this moment that feels scary. And we're not here alone. There are young people all across the country who are also watching that with the same fear, wondering how these people with power are going to debate out our futures. That is scary. But the reality is, we have been holding this space because we know that institutions like this, the DNC, they are not leaders. They will always be followers. And the real change happens when the movement, when the people come together to change things, and that is exactly what we are doing. And since we have been here, we have realized something. So many of the people here, this is their first time spending a night outside to make a statement to the leadership in this party. And it wasn't that hard. All you need is comrades around you, people who are down, and some sleeping bags. Because the reality is that the support will come, and we saw it come. We saw people who came here during their lunch breaks to give us ice in the 90-degree weather. And we saw people who heard that we only had like pizza and came to bring us gluten-free food, for like the gluten-free bread for the people who couldn't eat gluten here. Because everybody else knows that this is an emergency, and we're the ones acting like it because the people in there are not. And so before we watch that debate today, before we see how much time they give to the crisis that is threatening our futures, we're going to hear from the stories of more people in this generation that know what is at stake and know the kind of future that we need for ourselves. Woo! Woo! Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Storms surge and fires rage, but you don't hear the call. 'Cause fossil fuels keep paying you. Does it weigh on you at all? 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 Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Corporations raise you up, but we can make you fall. You picked a war with our generation. Does it weigh on you at all? 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 Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Which side are you on now? Which side are you on? Thank you. That song actually came
from coal miners and unions in Kentucky. And it's been a movement song that we have used in our movement to honor the movements who have come before us. And I'd actually like to invite Hayden, who's also from Kentucky, to tell us a little bit about what her and Kentucky have at stake here.
Thank you guys. My name's Hayden, and I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. My father's family grew up on the south side of that city, and my mother's family is from communities in central and eastern Kentucky, all over the state. And maybe you know something about Kentucky. It's pretty famous for coal mining, things like that. And growing up, the only thing that I heard about eastern Kentucky was that it was somewhere that my family had escaped from. It was somewhere where there were no jobs and there was no opportunities besides working for these corporations. And it was always really surprising because the corporations were there because there was such wealth in the mountains of Kentucky, and we didn't see any of it. The first time I actually met kids from eastern Kentucky, from places where my mom's family is from, I was in high school. And I went with them to our state capitol to protest mountaintop removal. Now, you might not know a lot about mountaintop removal, but it's a really new technique of mining coal. And the reason it's new is because there is very little coal left in Appalachia and in Kentucky. After hundreds of years, they've really gotten all of the coal that's easy to get off of the surface of the mountains. So what they do is they blow up the tops of the mountains, they level them, and then they get to the coal underneath. And when they do this, all of the compounds from the mountains leak into the streams and into the water of everyone who lives around those mountains. I met these high school students who came to Frankfurt with me when I was just a kid, and they brought bottles of water with them from their kitchen sinks, from their bathroom sinks. This was years before Flint, which still doesn't have clean water. They brought this water to our governor. It was brown, it was yellow, and the coal companies had told them that it was safe to drink. The coal companies also denied that they had anything to do with what their water looked like, but they would ship in bottles of water for them to drink and to brush their teeth with and to take showers with. These kids are still taking showers with bottled water shipped in by corporations that have no better solution for them. Now, I left Kentucky for a little while because in my family, success meant leaving Kentucky. Maybe it meant leaving eastern Kentucky and going to Louisville to find a better job. And maybe if you were lucky, you might leave Louisville and start a better life. What's happened since then? Those kids are still drinking that water, but now the coal that we mine in eastern Kentucky and process in central Kentucky factories is causing extreme weather. The place where I'm from, Louisville, is in the Ohio River Valley, which has experienced historic floods for the last 10 years. And in just the last 6 months, 4 people in my town have drowned because of the flooding there. One of them was a 15-year-old high school student, swept away in a storm drain outside of his church. Just this past Father's Day, a father driving his family from a party drowned when his car was swept off of the road. And when these kids brought their stories and their water to our leaders in Kentucky, nothing happened. The thing that's changing is that people in Kentucky are mobilizing. So these extreme weather events are happening all over the country. And you know that because you've turned out today in an action like this. In February, a friend of that high school student who drowned before high school graduation went to Mitch McConnell's office and shared his story. And we're still sharing these stories. Kentucky doesn't need the DNC to tell us who can fight for a livable future for us. We don't need the DNC to tell us who's going to look after our interests and the interests of keeping our families and our kids in Kentucky. What we need for them to do is to host a climate debate. We need to know where these candidates stand on these issues. And we can't have it anymore where failed leadership is ignoring us. We've been here for over 36 hours because we won't take it anymore. Young people are not going to step down when they say it's not the right time, or this is a single issue. This is affecting all of us. Fathers are being swept into rivers, and coal miners have black lung in my state in their 40s. So my dream is for my nephews who still live in eastern Kentucky to be able to grow up there, have a livable future, and drink that water, and not feel like the only thing that they can do is to leave our home. And that's why I'm here today. I'm fighting for that, and I'm demanding that the DNC step up and listen to what we're saying about what we need. That's it. Thanks.
I'm thinking back to a moment in your story and say that we don't need, Kentucky doesn't